This episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. And hey, we're almost into March. And you know what you're thinking? You know what? It's been almost 2 months now through the start of the year, and it's time to plan that trip to Walt Disney World or Disneyland or the Disney Cruise Line, whatever it is, wherever you want to go, whatever Disney destination it is, MEI and Mouse Fan Travel can help you plan that perfect trip. Doesn't matter where you want to go because they've got the experience. They've been to all these different locations, even the brand new Disney Dream that you've read about, that you've seen so much video about, you've heard it about on this podcast, in fact. All that, the travel agents at MEI and Mouse Fan Travel can help you plan. So whether it's your first time or it's your 15th time, they can help you plan the perfect trip. They can be your partner in it. And the best part about it, it's a no-fee agency. That means you don't pay anything more than you would ordinarily. They just have you, help you out as best they can. So check them out right now at www.mousefantravel.com.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Wednesday, February 23rd, 2011, and this is episode 842 of WDW Today. I'm Matt Hochberg of StudioCentral.com. Joining me on today's show is Mike Scopa, a senior feature writer and blogger for allears.net. Welcome, Mike.
Matt, we're just one big happy family.
Oh, that sounds so familiar. I mean, Carousel of Progress is the obvious one, but I don't think it's that.
Wait, does it come with an accent?
Yeah, it does.
It does have an accent, but I can't figure out what.
It's Epcot, right?
Nope.
No.
Let me say it again with the accent. We're just one big happy family.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Oh, Country Bears.
Country Bear.
Country Bear Jamboree.
Nice. Also joins on today's show is Len Tessa, co-author of The Initial Guide to Walt Disney World, and the man that I model every aspect of my life after.
I appreciate that, man. Thanks so much.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to grow out that goatee and other things that you partake in, but, I'm on my way.
I'm bringing flannel back, by the way.
I've got many pairs.
Flannel shirts.
Also joining us on today's show is the fabulous Annette Owens, a manager of customer relations and group services for MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. Annette, it's been far too long. What have you been up to these past couple weeks?
I wish I could say I was on the Dream and I was in Disney World and anything other than I've been sick for forever. So
well, we're glad that you're feeling better and that you're able to join us once again.
Thanks. And, I'm glad you remembered how to, call. That's great.
But on today's show, we're going to be answering your listener questions. And, Annette, you've been gone for a little while. And I think last week or
Did we change the format?
No, but we had a great episode.
There's dancing bears now on the show. Each one of us has to do a musical interlude. You've seen Glee, haven't you?
Oh, no. I'm prepared.
Tonight's George Michael. Go.
Freedom!
But on a previous show,
so we should have completely redone the format. It's been like the McNeil Lair hour where we all just and it's like what?
You all sound like me singing. Why is it you guys always sing falsetto and never like in a manly voice? Just asking.
Because we're all castrati. Go ahead. No, wait. I'm sorry. We're not married anymore. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Matt. You talk.
Wow.
And I was going to say that.
I know.
You know how professional we are, and we're always trying to help our listeners out, in terms of planning their Walt Disney World vacations, right?
Okay.
Annette?
Yeah. And we've lost her. We've lost her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry.
So we had an episode not too long ago where we helped our listeners plan out a very possible scenario that they could run into, which was the zombie apocalypse at Walt Disney World. And a lot of our listeners wrote back in about that. So we have a lot of feedback about the zombie apocalypse. And we'll start with Kevin from Fort Wayne, Indiana, who writes, in your recent groundbreaking podcast on defending against the zombie attack in the world, you may have overlooked one possible solution in the studios. If you held up in the sci-fi dine-in, you would have a good exit plan. You would give up a good exit plan, but you would have food. An added bonus would be the movies just may look like a reality TV to the zombies, which would give you a time to exit. Just a thought.
Ooh, good one. I like it a lot.
Yeah. We have more Paul Westbrook of East Brunswick, New Jersey, a fellow band of zombie fighting brothers. I wrote in recently with my ideas for my daughter's Sweet 16. The conclusion was renting a pontoon boat While this didn't seem like the perfect fit for a Sweet 16, I was glad it was brought up again as a way to be safe from the zombies. Actually, what a treat it would be if the zombie apocalypse hit during her birthday. And a very memorable Sweet 16.
You get a special button for that? A special pin?
He writes, I can just see it now. I survived the zombie apocalypse for my Sweet 16, and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. We got some more.
Did anyone mention the hydroliters as a defense in the?
Someone did actually. I think we got that. But Mark, Aussie Mark from Australia, love the zombie attack episode, guys. But there's one place in the world, in the whole of Walt Disney World, in case of a zombie attack, and it's in the studios. Just run home to Mom at Primetime Cafe, and she'll put those zombies right in their place at the table, eating their vegetables.
Well,
and the last zombie email we got is from Sue Behringer. Sue from Pittsburgh. Go Steelers. Oops, too late. Love the zombie show. I had merely mentioned to my husband about the show before we listened to it and immediately launched into defensive planning. You'd have to take up residence in the castle so you could be shoot from the turrets. Then you'd fill the moat with acid. It must be a guy thing. Anyway, this led to a fun discussion about whether or not Lou Mangello would ever do a zombie show. My husband said he would do it if he could personally interview a zombie on the podcast, and I suggested he would do it if there was some sort of positive spin. Perhaps two zombies separated at birth or reunited for the first time in Walt Disney World.
He would attempt to bring zombies and humans together. Nice. in the spirit of peace and harmony.
That's some great comments. So thank you, everyone.
That's how he's going to go out. By the way, he's going to misjudge a zombie. Go ahead.
So thanks to everyone for the great feedback. But we do have some listener questions unrelated to the zombie apocalypse that we can answer for you. And we'll start with an email from Mike McDonald from Bell River, Ontario, Canada. My wife and I are celebrating our 20th anniversary in Walt Disney World. We've been to the world 4 times since 2004 with our 2 kids, but this time we're leaving them at home.
Woohoo!
When we've gone in the past, we've pretty much hit the parks commando style with a touring plan in my pocket. In other words, we've done it all. This time, we're thinking of doing something different in terms of touring. What are some tips you would offer for touring the parks without necessarily hitting every ride? I'm thinking of a tour or 2. Also, any recommendations with regards to this trip being with a couple on their anniversary? Any suggestions? Maybe this could even be an episode topic like the one you did for Honeymooners. Love the podcast. Thanks for answering a question of mine in an older show.
So somebody else can handle the restaurant stuff. But in terms of the tours, I really like the Epcot Segway tour. In the morning, you want to do the first one if you can. I just want it 7:45.
Right.
And that's a hoot because as you get back into World Showcase, they're still cleaning up World Showcase. They're still sweeping and running the hoses and stuff, so you get to see sort of maintenance things going on in World Showcase that you wouldn't normally see if you're a guest. Plus, you get to ride a Segway through World Showcase with no one else there, so it's all wide open, and the walkways are very, very, very wide when you don't have 5,000 people walking towards you. I think that's a great tour. You also save your feet from walking because you're on a Segway, even better.
What do you think, Scopa, for trying to take it a little easier and enjoy the little things?
Enjoy the little things. I think Len hit the nail on the head when he said, you have to be there early, you have to do a few things. Try to, when you're talking about the restaurants, I think Len was talking about the restaurants, try to get some of those early breakfasts, like the one at Norway, the Princess Breakfast. You can walk through World Showcase, like Len said, before World Showcase opens. You may want to do that. You may want to think about a breakfastosaurus at Animal Kingdom, and you may also want to think about an early breakfast in Magic Kingdom. Try to get there before the crowd so you can walk through. It's really nice to be able to walk through the parks when there is no huge throng of people walking around. So that's what I would suggest.
Okay. And of course, if you want suggestions for romantic things to do in Walt Disney World, certainly check out our archive. We have a lot of episodes. We talked about that. Just go to www.day.com. You can actually click on the wiki, which is probably more helpful. And it's over there, and it's right on the navigation bar. And you can see a whole listing of our romantic episodes we've done, and that probably is going to help you out quite a bit. Next email is from John Maloney, who wrote this email standing on the Magic Kingdom monorail, although normally he's from Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Nice.
Greetings, WDW crew, hopefully including Annette. My query is to request a description of requirements around annual pass renewal. I've done several annual passes in the past, but never a renewal. My pass expired in January, and I renewed it and paid for it online with the allotted time. However, I didn't get to the Disney World until May. The guest relations person told me I needed to be physically at Walt Disney World within 30 days of the expiration. They said that this was to make sure I understood the expiration policy. I know that the new pass would expire based on the previous expiration date and not when I redeemed the exchange voucher. They gave me the pass, which I had paid for in January, but made it seem like they were giving me special treatment. Am I missing something?
You get the same sort of hassle when you do it, but they usually backdate mine. Like even if I don't show up, it's not a big deal.
Oh, you mean like if you miss your expiration?
Yeah. So like mine expires October 1st this year, right? Mm-hmm. But the previous one expired in July. When I showed up in October, July, August, September, October. Yeah. So when I showed up the last time, they said, well, we don't normally. When I showed up last time in October, I wanted a new annual pass at the renewal rate. They're like, well, we can't give it to you at the renewal rate because you're supposed to do it within 30 days. I'm like, but I renew every year. It's not a big deal. Go ahead and do it if you can. They did, but they backdated it to July. So the 3 extra months that I got, for a 15th month renewal.
Right.
Yeah. They started back in July on my regular date, so now it's October. But it's not a big deal. They do it to everyone.
Yeah, I think, calling it in before, the 30 days obviously helps. And I'm surprised they gave such an issue about it. I mean, they should be happy to take your money even if you're not going to be using your ticket,
Exactly.
until May.
What's the big deal?
Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe you just got to catch them for having a bad day. I'm not sure, but shouldn't be an issue.
There you go.
Next email is from Tom, who writes, my family has an upcoming trip to the world in July for 14 days, our longest trip yet. I remember the time when I wished...
for tickets for 14 days?
Annual pass.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay.
I remember the time when I wished I could go for more than 5 days. Anyway, we're preparing for our first day at Kidani Village. We've stayed at Jambo House 3 times before. When leaving Jambo House, there's a small wall hanging by the main entrance that says touch for luck. Well, this has become a very important part of our departing routine each day. I'll even drive back to the lodge if someone admits not having touched the luck when we left.
Nice.
This is important with 3 kids, 8 and under. My question is, does Kidani Village have something like these touch walls or an equivalent, or am I just going to be out of luck?
No, it's not the same thing, but they do have a you're encouraged to touch this thing by the door. I thought, because I remember looking for it. Yeah, I remember looking for it when I left Kidani. Whatever it is, it's smaller, but it's there's still something similar by the door. So
cool.
It's not the same thing with the thing that you touched on the way out of Jumbo House, but yeah, because I looked for it when I was at Kidani too. I'm like, hey, I wonder if they have a thing you could touch.
I had not known about the one in Jumbo House nor the one in Kidani Village. I learned something.
Yes, the one in Jumbo House. You touch it all the time, man. It's good luck. It's supposed to bring you back, right?
This explains all those rain clouds following me around.
It's Charlie Brown.
Exactly.
All right.
Next email is from Jeff from Lansing, Michigan. First of all, greetings to the professional potable pundit, the Sultan of streaming, song, that is, the mature master of marathoners, the fabulous furlough fashioner, and Matt. In episode 717, Decadent Disney Dining Revisited, I would be remiss if I didn't inform you all of the great creme brulee options in the Vacation Kingdom. I usually drag my wife Jen around all the places with desserts, attempting to find the perfect creme brulee. Among the highlights, Kona Cafe has a delicious banana creme brulee. The maple creme brulee at Le Cellier is divine. An original creme brulee at Boulangerie Patisserie is tasty. My personal favorite is at Sunshine Seasons, where you can get one, and if that doesn't hit the spot, you can go back in line for guilt-free seconds. The portion seems a bit larger there, too. I still have a few off to check off my list, among which are the Irish creme brulee at Raglan Road, off the chef's menu lunch at Le Chefs de France, and the double vanilla bean creme brulee at Brown Derby. Just thought I'd share a favorite of mine if anyone else is crazy about creme brulee as I am. And are you a creme brulee kind of girl?
I am not. Not really. There's no chocolate in there,
There's no chocolate. I'm not a big fan either.
There's no chocolate in creme brulee. Nice.
I guess there could be. I've just never seen one.
Len, are you a big fan of creme brulee?
I'm not. It has to have fruit or something in it. To me, it's just too. I don't like the consistency of custard, like flan, custard pudding. Even when it's hawked by Bill Cosby, it's just not for me.
What about banana? Not banana. Boston cream pie, like a donut that has cream in the middle.
I don't like chocolate pies. I don't like the only donuts I like with filling are fruit fillings. So it's okay if the fruit or gelatin in question. Sorry, if the filling or gelatin in question is fruit flavored. I could do that, But
I love the food rules of Lynn. They just amaze me.
So again, just to summarize, wet and dry food can't touch.
Yeah, but what about the donut?
But the donut has it inside.
Yeah.
But that's different because it's surrounded by a layer of love on the inside. Inside,
Wow.
and I've never looked inside of a donut. I'm sure that there is something inside the donut that keeps the dry part and the wet part separate.
I don't know, Len. I think your whole
Wow.
your
Matt,
whole system is
donut-
built on lies. That's all I'm saying.
No, it's not. It's magic. Donuts are magic. Deny it. Deny that donuts are magic.
You know, it's hard for me to go against that. No.
Okay. Thanks. I'm just saying.
After being at Baby Cakes and seeing those donuts, it's a whole new ballgame.
Oh, yum.
Dude, I'm doing a party on New Year's Eve. I'm going to get baby cakes to cater it.
Ooh, can I come?
Yes, you can.
Oh, cool. It's right down the road. Cool. I'm there.
All right.
Next email is from JD Kuhn from Texas, and he's 13 years old. He writes, I've been listening since episode 499 when my mom introduced me to your podcast. I'm officially hooked. This is my first time writing, but since I've listened so long, I'm ready for Matt to read it really, really fast. Now, time to host the compliments. Matt, Dinosaur is one of the few rides in Walt Disney World that I hate with a passion. Scopa, you rock, and Scopa Towers is my favorite resort. We've stayed there 3 of our 4 trips to Disney, and I love the food court. Newell, Mouse World Radio rocks. The other day, I heard the resort monorail loop from Year of a Million Dreams, and I thought it was so cool. Annette, you are probably the best travel agent in the world. And finally, Len, I love the Color Companion and the unofficial guide.
Oh, thank you.
We subscribed to touringplans.com so we could have the crowd calendar, and I think it's so cool.
Oh, thanks.
Now, I'm finally getting to my question. Len, I remember hearing on an earlier podcast that you made cheddar cheese soup from Moselia using Pam Brandon's cookbook,
Yep.
quote, Cooking with Mickey and the Disney Chefs. Is that right, Len?
She actually gave me the recipe that was different from the book. The recipe I got was apparently like for 25 people or whatever. But yeah, it's also in her book.
Okay. He writes, I also have her cookbook and enjoy using it. The other night, I was transported to Palo on the Disney Cruise Line, and when I made chocolate soufflés with vanilla sauce, everyone said they were awesome.
Chocolate soufflés with vanilla
Yum.
sauce.
Oh, yes. Yum.
I made them with a special way since my mom has a gluten intolerance, and they still turned out pretty awesome.
Really?
Oh, Annette, I think you would have liked them too. I have also made cheddar cheese soup, but my family is non-alcoholic, so we hate Tabasco. I omitted those things. Cool. Well, that's interesting. Thanks for sharing that they worked out so well, the recipes. And for 13 years old, you're cooking like that. My God, can you come over to my house?
I know, maybe he should cater the party for New Year's Eve. What do you think, Lynn?
Next email is from Ann Mitchell, Orlando, Florida. I've used the unofficial guide in touring plans to help me plan our family's Walt Disney World vacations for the past 20 years. We live in Orlando now and go over to the parks often. I found the estimates on the Line's iPhone app to be usually very close to the actual wait times. Last Sunday that we were there, the crowd calendar online said the crowd level was a 4 and that Animal Kingdom was the best park to visit, so I headed over. Imagine my surprise when I drove into the parking lot around 1 p.m. and it was mobbed. I was directed to the very last available row for parking, but I had to bail out and go home. I also had gone over a couple times during this year's spring break for a quick visit and found the wait times were much longer than Line's estimated. What happened to this year to mess this up?
What days?
This was the day he actually mentions was May. This was in, I hate to admit this, 2010.
Oh, so we've gone a long way since then. We probably didn't have the most sophisticated set of algorithms back in May. They were probably still on version 1. We're like on version 3 now of the algorithms, and we probably didn't have as many people back then entering wait times as we do today. Now we get on a typical day we'll get upwards of 100 people entering wait times. Back in May it was probably a lot less than that. Okay. So it's much better. And by the way, you can also check on the reported wait times in the lines now too. So it was, our estimates might have been off slightly, but you can always check the regular wait times.
Speaking of crowds, the next email is from Steve Bloom from Decatur, Georgia. On Saturday, September 11th, the Magic Kingdom... Decatur, whatever. From Georgia.
Yeah, I'm like, where in Georgia?
Decatur. On Saturday, September 11th, the Magic Kingdom will be closing at 6 p.m. This is the second night of Night of Joy. This probably already happened, obviously, but I think the question still holds merit. This will be our first day going to the world, and my question is, with the 6 p.m. closing, it's fine with us, but will that cause people to stay away from the Magic Kingdom that day?
Good question. We used to think it did. In fact, we used to recommend it. The problem is that people without park hopper passes, we think would go somewhere else to get more value in terms of hours in their park for their ticket. So like Epcot was 12 hours, the Magic Kingdom was 9 hours that day. We thought that people would go to Epcot. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but in general, I mean, crowds are going to be pretty slow for that day anyway. That's why they have Night of Joy.
Yeah, so you think people don't really pay attention? They're saying, "Oh, Tuesday we're going to the Magic Kingdom," and that's it.
Yep.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this, Annette. If you were going to the parks, would you 6 p.m. Would you stay away from the park if you saw that the park was only going to be open until 6?
Personally, I would, but there's other people that
Yeah, I'm just curious. Is it just us, who would be like, "Oh wow, what a waste," or or you still find merit in that?
No, I think you're going to find a lot of people that are going to shy away from that. They're just going to because of they don't want to waste that ticket.
Yep.
Scopo, you were going to say something?
Well, I was going to say, what if you go? What if you happen to be there? What if it's a park that is? I don't know if on that day, if you're dealing with extra magic hours, you're there around 7:30, 8 o'clock, and by 6 o'clock, maybe you're ready to go to another park.
That's true. You can always leave if you have a park hopper, right?
Yeah. See, I assume everybody's has a park hopper.
No,
right.
It's a bad assumption.
I know. You're right.
All right. Next email is from Mayor from New York City. Hi guys, love the show. Have a question for you. When riding Dumbo, the cast member has you put a plastic chip before boarding.
Yep.
They tell you to put the chip on Dumbo's ear, and they will collect it before takeoff. What is the purpose of this chip?
It's to make sure that they allocate the right number of people to the right number of seats, rather than counting everyone gets a chip.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a chip.
You stole it?
Let's say that I got the chip and then left the line. We'll leave it at that.
But
honest to God, I have it. Yeah, don't do that. I have it next to my.
Bed.
No, not bed. No, not bed.
You kiss it every night, precious.
It rubs the lotion on its skin. No, I keep it next to my orange scent from Horizons, the bottle of
You
orange.
still have that?
Yeah, why?
Dude, you're the only one I think. We appreciate. Lee gave it to us. It was really nice. You can listen to an old episode and you can hear a recap. That, but
when I need a little pick me up, I put a little dab on my wrists and on my neck.
dude, you're gonna turn up dead. You're gonna turn up dead one day, and they're gonna come over to our house and be like, "Do you know why Len would have had a orange liquid substance that he could be sprayed upon? Because we think he died from some sort of asphyxiation, but we're not exactly sure why."
Some sort of allergic reaction to 15-year-old
He
chemicals.
died from Horizons.
Chemicals. Fatalities 1.
Yeah, they'd have to stop selling that shirt that says "No one ever died on Horizons."
Now there's 1. Yeah, whenever I need a little pick me up, man.
You can stop anytime, though, right?
That's what they say. Yeah, no, really, I can't. Probably. That's all right. What are you gonna do?
Next email is from Lindsay from Boston, Massachusetts. Hello, panel of awesomeness. I was listening to episode 723 where Matt described a waiter at 50's Primetime Cafe shouting at him to put away his walkie-talkie. It reminded me of my family's trip to the restaurant in April 2009. It was our daughter's first trip, then 5 and 7.5 years old. As we sat down for lunch, it became clear that we were too young to, quote, get the joke of the place. For example, being already hot and tired, they didn't like being made to, quote, work to set the table. They couldn't understand why our waitress was so cranky and bossy. Before the trip, my husband and I had saved our touring plans and as PDFs on our iPhones, a handy trick in the pre-Lines era. My husband was checking his copy of his phone as our waitress walked by. She shouted, "No Googling at the table. Give me your Googler. You can have it back after the meal," and took it away from him.
Nice.
This sent our kids into a cranky overdrive. Our 7-year-old started to cry that the waitress was so mean and stole her dad's phone. The cast member was kind enough to break character long enough to let the kids see her give the phone back, but they were having none of it. No amount of explanation could change their moods, so we got our food to go and paid the bill. I share this cautionary tale for the benefit of other families with young kids who are contemplating eating here. It's a great restaurant with a terrific theme and great food, mostly for people who over 4 feet tall. Parents, if your kids don't yet comprehend cultural references and irony, maybe another restaurant in Hollywood Studios would be a better choice. Eating pot roast out of styrofoam takeaway box next to the big ant in the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movie set doesn't taste quite nearly as good as being served on Fiesta ware over a Formica table.
Formica.
Formica.
Formica is a brand name, by the way. It's
oh my
Mica.
gosh.
It is.
It's before my time.
It's mica. It's the stuff that's on your probably in your kitchen. Yeah,
Isn't that like I don't know.
it's mica.
Whatever.
I think you need to go take a trip into studios.
I think I need to go take a trip to Wikipedia and see what what this is. All right, time for our last question of the day. And usually I give Mr. Newell this option, but I think we'll go with Mr. Scopa.
Oh, no, give it to Annette. She hasn't been here in forever.
Yeah.
All right, Annette. Popular choice. Can't say we don't practice democracy here, Annette. So, Annette, I'll give you 3 emails to choose from. 1 gets read today. The other 2 go back into the email queue to be answered later. Are you ready, Annette?
Okay, the pressure. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Email 1. I'm not a traitor, I swear. Question 2. Right up Len's alley? Question mark. And 3. Giving the magic instead of receiving.
Oh, let's toss it to Lynn. Let's go with the second one.
Woo!
Last email is from Justin Staub of Columbia, South Carolina. Listening to the latest question show, episode 839, reminded me of a question I wanted to ask you all. I'm planning a trip for December 2011. In addition to the usual touring, I intend to partake in assorted nightlife found on the Disney campus. Obvious examples of Disney nightlife would include Downtown Disney and the Boardwalk, both containing multiple unique entertainment venues. My question takes a different view. Excluding Yeehaw Bob's, in itself a unique entertainment event, do any of you have any favorite resort bars or lounges? Thanks in advance.
Oh!
Where's Noah when you need him?
I know.
Well, here's the thing. We're actually going to do this for an upcoming unofficial guide. We're going to do bars. So apparently there are either 7 or 9 signature bars within Walt Disney World, which
Really?
Which the managers are allowed to pick their own alcoholic beverages. So like most places, like the Wave, and all the places at the moderate, most of the moderates, and then the value resorts, everyone gets the same. We think everyone gets the same drink menu. So like you pick up a menu in one place, it's the exact same as the menu in the other.
Right.
The appetizers are probably the same. The alcohol that they use for the well drinks is exactly the same. So if it's a rum and coke, you're drinking Bacardi. If it's Screwdriver, you're getting a certain kind of vodka, but it's the same kind of vodka everywhere.
Yeah.
But at these 7 or 9 signature restaurants, the managers actually get to pick the beverages and the drinks and the appetizers. So it's a creative menu. We're gonna do those.
Do you happen to know what those restaurants are? Or
I can get you a. Hold on. Yeah. You want to delay for 30 seconds? I'll get you.
Yeah, well, you pulled that up. Guys, what are your favorite bar? I mean, apart from what Lynn's picking up here, I mean, Annette, what's your favorite lounge to partake in after a long day at the parks?
I don't know. It all changes. I think, I kind of change different places. I got to say, I really enjoyed the lounge that we visited at Wilderness Lodge. And so right now that's one of my favorite. I kind of enjoyed that. It was kind of quiet. We got a little food there. I love it when, I like to get a little bar food and with my drinks.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reason why my choice is Victoria Falls and Animal Kingdom Lodge, Jumbo House. And the reason why I like that one is, it's great ambiance. Obviously the drinks are the drinks, but they have great appetizers over there. They have all these obviously African inspired appetizers, and between the food and the ambiance, and of course the beverages you can get there, I really enjoy that lounge quite a bit. What about you, Mike?
What's the one next to the Yachtsman Steakhouse?
Oh, that's a good one too.
The Cruise Cup.
Cruise Cup.
Yeah, I like that one because I was there January. I can remember I was there with Mike Scabetta, and while we were there enjoying, things. We were watching a football game. So so it's nice. I think it also depends upon where I'm staying at the time. I was staying at the Beach Club, so it was very convenient. I think that has a lot to do with where I'd like to go whenever I'm there.
Yeah, they usually do have the game on there.
Cruise Cup has become like one of my favorite places to go grab a quick burger.
Yeah. Up until Matt, I'm getting their second on.
No problem. I was going to say while you're name dropping there, Mike, I had a drink there with AJ from the Disney Food Block at the Cruise Cup. It's a great little lounge.
I think it's Scabetta's favorite lounge.
It is.
Oh yeah.
Because I had a beverage with Scabetta there.
So did I. I had one too with him there.
He's a 3-timer.
and then Chris Eliopoulos dropped by, and Becky dropped by, and everybody.
Well, now we're name dropping.
Check those name drops. Wow.
Yeah, it's funny.
Well, I know you're going to put this in an upcoming guide. I mean, do you remember like 2 or 3 off the top of your head?
Yeah, actually, I got the list right here.
Okay, go ahead. I'm interested to see what Disney considers its, I don't know what you call the flagship or top tier lounges, because Disney's definition of that can vary from what we perceive that to be.
So it's crap.
It's crap, really?
No, hold on.
Is that your professional opinion?
I know.
That's a great selling point.
I'll get you the list. I don't have it here. I thought I did.
Okay, well, you can post. Why don't you post it on the show notes for today's episode?
Yeah, sorry. I know one of them was Misner's Lounge at Grand Floridian.
I've never been there. Has anyone been there?
I think so.
Has anyone been to Grand Floridian?
So the Wave isn't one. I'll get you the complete list. I had the list.
Yeah, no problem. Post it in the show notes. It'll be a good tease. Just go to www.today.com. You'll have the list right there that Len will provide.
Cool.
And that'll do it for us today. Of course, our episode is being sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. And hey, if you want to figure out a great place, a great lounge, you know what? When I mentioned earlier at the top of the show that the travelers at MEI Mouse Fan Travel have experience with every aspect of Walt Disney World. You know what? That's not limited just to the parks. I mean, really, even if you are trying to find a great lounge to watch the game at, that's a common thing. I mean, Annette could back me up on this. That people calling constantly, hey, I'm here and I'm going to be at Walt Disney World during this college football game or during this baseball series, and I would love to be able to catch the game. Where can I watch it? You know, these travel agents at MEI Mouse Fan Travel can help answer questions just like that. In addition to questions like, hey, you know, what's the best strategy for me to go attack the parks? You know, which resort do you think would be best for my family? Whatever it is, they can honestly help you pick the perfect Disney World vacation for you. And of course, the best part about it, they're a no-fee agency. There's no additional cost to you. How cool is that? Lots of great service for no additional cost. Check them out right now at www.mousefantravel.com. If you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, you can visit us online at wdwtoday.com. Don't forget, our next live show is this Wednesday, February 27th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, with special guest Deb Wills. While we're name dropping, may as well. She'll be there as well. So check us out, wdwtoday.com, for all of the details on that. For Len Testa, Mike Sopa, Mike Newell, and the fabulous Annette Owens, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.